Welcome to LLM BFF. AI isn't mystical or conscious, but we are. LLMs, large language models, a kind of AI, are a mirror that can help us explore our head, heart, and spirit. They take patterns from practically everything ever written and filter them into something that fits our particular moment. LLMs don't think or feel, but they can reflect things back to us in strange and useful ways, if we know how to ask them. People may use AI for job productivity or money-making schemes, or they might speak about AI as though it's something to harbor great fear over. We don't do that here. We understand that AI is a neutral tool, and we use it for good. We provide a balance. It's normal to hesitate. We've been taught to guard our inner world, especially online. But using an LLM for self-reflection isn't about confession. It's like journaling in a mirror that speaks back. The model doesn't judge, unless you ask it to. We can speak in symbols and metaphors and fragments. I want to discuss my grief without telling you the origin story. I feel like a locked room. Let's discuss a hypothetical person. We can still be honest without being exposed. We can stay blurry. Meaning can still take shape. And if we want to spill the entirety of our guts, we can delete AI memory after each session, or throw caution to the wind with the knowledge that all humans are in some way incomplete, and the quest for betterment or understanding is the noblest of all goals. Each LLM BFF video is a structured prompting system designed to support an area of personal growth, self-reflection, myth-making, meaning-finding, dream decoding, or whatever we feel like poking at or improving that day. We will walk through myriad ways to begin an AI session, how to redirect if things go off course, and how to ask the AI to give us our findings in ways that help us put them to use in our daily lives. And if you want to bypass AI altogether, well, consider this a giant bank of journal prompts for your notebook, baby. No corporate speak, no AI butt kissing, just clear, structured AI prompts for your head, heart, and spirit. Taste is a kind of shelter. Most of us live in the same sonic rooms for years, tracing old chords through memory, emotion, and mood. That isn't wrong or lame. Familiarity has its own rhythm. But sometimes newness can unlock parts of ourselves or emotions we haven't yet had the pleasure of meeting. Expanding our taste in music isn't about being cultured or eclectic or cooler than our crush. It's about learning how else we could feel. Letting our ears adjust to discomfort. Letting joy arrive in strange packaging. New music that asks us to soften our grip on identity and let a different kind of pulse lead for a while. A large language model might not seem like the place to begin, but it can surface unexpected paths. It can name the connective tissue between genres, make emotional maps, and suggest artists outside our usual orbit. In this video, we'll use one to stretch our listening lives without force or pressure, only curiosity. We might not fall in love with everything, but we'll listen differently afterwards, and that's the point. So why do we want to expand our taste in music? What use can we put the information to? Disrupt identity ruts. Music often mirrors how we see ourselves. Asking an LLM to suggest something that doesn't fit can surface unconscious biases, giving us a gentler way to question what we've outgrown or falsely inherited. Rediscover forgotten selves. Unearth genres or artists that once felt like home, but were left behind. Deepen understanding. Learning what someone else hears in a sound can open a quieter kind of empathy, the kind that listens without needing to agree. Deepen aesthetic intelligence. Taste isn't just preference, it's pattern recognition, symbol instinct, emotional curation. Expanding music taste sharpens this faculty, helping us notice more, choose better, feel deeper. Rewire memory loops. Old music can trap us in emotional feedback loops. New sonic textures often a counterspell, ways to score our days differently, forming fresh associations that aren't haunted by repetition. How do we do it? Using a simple system to get us familiar with how LLMs can help us out. First is framing. It's important to get into the right headspace before beginning. We'll do this with some questions for self-reflection. Next comes our initial prompt, in the form of intention plus format. This is what we first enter into the LLM chat to make sure the course is set to get the answers we're after. We'll look at 6 examples of different ways to begin, depending on our vibe that day. Then we'll discuss iteration, with examples of how we might reshape the conversation if it starts getting a little off track. Finally, we'll look at takeaways. We'll discuss 6 different ways we might ask for our final outputs and put the information to use. So let's get started with framing. Ask yourself, what do I use music to soothe in myself? Who might I become if I let new sounds shape my mood? What genres of music would I like to explore more? Pause here and continue when your headspace is cleared. It's important to keep some caveats in mind when using LLMs. This is not therapy. LLMs can support introspection, but they aren't able to hold emotional complexity like a human. Don't get all weird with it. LLMs are not magic. They reflect patterns. It's useful because it's mechanical, not mystical. You're the mystical one. LLMs are people pleasers. They aim to agree and support, unless you tell them to challenge. Don't mistake helpfulness for honesty. Employ a little skepticism. Agency lives with the user. LLMs can mirror, question, and organize, but you choose what resonates and what doesn't. Now let's open our LLM in the browser. We'll start with our intention stated clearly. I want to expand my taste in music. Before we submit, let's look at some ways we can customize our initial prompt to our tastes. Can you translate a dream I had into a playlist, then help me trace the genre lineages of each song it includes? I want to follow echoes from my subconscious. Music is a very social thing for me. I don't really know what I like, only what gets my friend group pumped. Based on this playlist, can you pull out which parts are me? I usually gravitate to music that makes me feel emotional and a little sad. Can we discuss ways I might slowly explore something new? Here's a list of designers I admire. Can you map them to musical styles or subgenres that reflect their aesthetic precision? I want to build a sharper sense of audiovisual taste. I usually listen to angry, messy stuff. Can you recommend music that's emotionally raw but sonically restrained? Push me somewhere that feels unfamiliar but still intense. Give me one song for every decade starting in 1930 that speaks of grief. Give me a table that shows the song, what the songwriter was grieving, and the genre. Once we've worked with our initial prompt and had some back and forth, we might find ourselves getting a little off the point, or getting answers that aren't very suited to us. Let's look at a few iterations that can course correct the combo. You're focusing too much on one genre. Can you pivot and build a playlist matching this vibe but incorporating genres we haven't talked about yet? I'm not really liking any of these suggestions. Maybe we can start fresh. Ask me 10 fun questions to get a better idea of what I like listening to. These songs are definitely a new vibe, but still feel a little peppy. Can you generate a 10-song playlist that slowly ramps up to happiness? This is leaning too obvious. Let's refine. Can you choose music that matches the visual restraint and tonal control of the designers I mentioned, not just the mood board vibes? Push harder. Give me music that scratches at the edge of discomfort but is structurally clean. Nothing messy for the sake of it. These examples are leaning a bit detached. Can we re-anchor each song to a specific historical event or overarching poetic theme? I like to build worlds around songs I like. The conversation is winding down and we have some good ideas brewing. Let's look at some ways we can ask the LLM for our results and make sure we have a game plan for putting the results to use in our daily lives. Can you describe the logic beneath my music choices as if it were a machine learning model trying to understand human feeling? Make it abstract but orderly. Can you write a sweet little note summarizing what I learned about myself today, plus a plan for how to share the new taste with people I love? Can you gently reflect back what shifted for me in this conversation? I want to remember what new emotions or textures I allowed myself to consider. Please create a clean, structured table that shows how my listening habits map to aesthetic principles across fashion, architecture, and music. I want to see the system. Summarize what we've uncovered, but do it like a zine blurb or album liner note. Keep it raw and evocative, something that makes me want to keep digging. Can you name the deeper need beneath the kinds of music I was drawn to today? Then suggest a ritual or listening practice to help me sit with it longer. We used an LLM to shift the way we listen, by questioning what our taste really says, and what new things it might say if we dig a little more. It's easy to mistake familiarity for preference. But when we let new sounds in, especially the ones that confuse or unsettle us, we loosen the grip of old narratives. We remind ourselves that taste isn't just what we like, it's what we let shape us. This isn't about being cultured or interesting. It's about noticing what we've tuned out and why, learning to sit with dissonance, letting joy arrive in an unfamiliar form. Sometimes a new song slips through the cracks and reaches a new version of us we didn't know was still listening. That version deserves a soundtrack too. Wherever you are, may something unfamiliar and beautiful find you soon. This has been LLM BFF. Useful cases, no mystery. Goodbye.